Hey everyone, welcome to another exploration of ancient wisdom. I'm here with more timeless life lessons from the great sages and philosophers of the East and West, from Lao Tzu to Marcus Aurelius. Perfect for listening while you work, relax, or reflect. Let's dive into today's stories. Lao Tzu, Daily Life. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is like a shadow. It follows but does not lead. A wise man in ancient China let life guide him, finding peace, while another tried to control everything and grew weary." This teaches us to surrender to life's flow. Sometimes, letting go brings more clarity than forcing a path. Socrates, self-growth. Socrates said, "The greatest way to live with honor is to be what we pretend to be." A man in Athens lived authentically and gained respect, while another hid his true self and was exposed. This reminds us to live with integrity. Align your actions with your values. Don't just pretend. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "The superior man does not allow his mind to dwell on small matters." A leader focused on the big vision and succeeded, while another got lost in petty details and failed. In work, this means keeping your focus on the bigger picture. Don't sweat the small stuff. Seneca, Daily Life. Seneca said, "The greatest wealth is to live content with little." A Roman farmer lived happily with the basics, while a wealthy senator was never satisfied. This teaches us that true wealth lies in contentment. Happiness doesn't come from having more, but from needing less. Bhagavad Gita, self-growth. Krishna taught, "The mind acts like an enemy for those who do not control it." A warrior who tamed his thoughts found clarity, while another let his mind wander and lost focus. This reminds us to discipline our thoughts. A focused mind is our greatest ally. Aristotle, work. Aristotle said, "The whole is greater than the sum of its parts." A Greek architect worked with his team to build a magnificent temple, while another who worked alone struggled. In work, this means valuing collaboration. Teamwork creates results bigger than individual efforts. Zhuangzi, Daily Life. Zhuangzi taught, "The sage finds peace in the ordinary." A farmer cherished the simple act of planting seeds, while a nobleman sought grand pleasures and felt empty. This teaches us to find joy in simplicity. The ordinary moments hold the deepest beauty. Epictetus, self-growth. Epictetus taught, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not." A Stoic accepted his modest life and found peace, while another longed for what he couldn't have and suffered. This reminds us to focus on what we have. Gratitude brings contentment. Lao Tzu, self-growth. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is like the wind, invisible yet powerful." A monk felt the Tao in the breeze, growing stronger, while another ignored the subtle and remained weak. This teaches us to pay attention to the unseen. Inner strength often comes from quiet forces. Plato, Daily Life. Plato taught, "The measure of a man is what he does with power." A leader in Greece used his authority to help others, earning loyalty, while another abused it and fell. This means using influence wisely. Power is a tool for good, not dominance. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "The superior man seeks harmony, not sameness." A leader embraced diverse ideas and built a strong team, while another demanded conformity and lost support. In work, this means valuing diversity. Different perspectives lead to better solutions. Marcus Aurelius, self-growth. Marcus Aurelius said, "Accept the things to which fate binds you." An emperor accepted his hardships and grew stronger, while another resisted and broke. This reminds us to embrace life's challenges. Acceptance is the first step to overcoming them. Bhagavad Gita, daily life. Krishna taught, "The wise are free from greed." A merchant who gave generously found peace, while another who hoarded wealth lived in fear. This means letting go of greed. Generosity brings more joy than accumulation. Seneca said, "To be always seeking something new is to live in constant dissatisfaction." A Roman artist perfected his craft and found fulfillment, while another chased trends and felt lost. In work, this means mastering your skills. Depth brings more satisfaction than constant change. Zhuangzi, self-growth. Zhuangzi taught, "The sage does not fear death, for he has truly lived." A wise man lived each day with purpose, unafraid of the end, while another feared death and wasted his life. This reminds us to live fully. A meaningful life removes the fear of death. Lao Tzu, daily life. Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is like a mirror. It reflects without distortion." A sage saw the world clearly, without judgment, while another distorted reality with his biases and suffered. This teaches us to see things as they are. Clarity brings peace, while judgment creates conflict. Socrates, self-growth. Socrates said, "The secret of happiness is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less." A philosopher lived happily with little, while a rich man sought more and remained unfulfilled. This reminds us to simplify our desires. Happiness lies in appreciating what's enough. Confucius, Confucius taught, "The superior man does not seek to be praised." A craftsman worked for the love of his craft and earned respect, while another sought applause and lost his focus. In work, this means doing your best for its own sake. True recognition comes naturally. Seneca, daily life. Seneca said, "The greatest remedy for grief is to keep busy." A Roman widow found solace in helping others, while another dwelled in sorrow and sank deeper. This teaches us to channel our energy into meaningful action. Staying active can heal emotional wounds. Bhagavad Gita, self-growth. Krishna taught, "The wise are free from the illusion of the self." A sage saw beyond his ego, finding unity, while another clung to pride and felt isolated. This reminds us to transcend the ego. True connection comes from seeing ourselves in others. Aristotle, Aristotle said, "The aim of the wise is not to secure pleasure, but to avoid pain." A Greek merchant planned carefully to avoid losses, while another chased short-term gains and failed. In work, this means focusing on stability. Long-term success comes from minimizing risks. Zhuangzi, daily life. Zhuangzi taught, "The sage does not let his desires disturb his peace." A monk lived calmly, ignoring fleeting cravings, while a merchant chased desires and lost his tranquility. This teaches us to let go of unnecessary wants. Inner peace is more valuable than fleeting pleasures. Epictetus, self-growth. Epictetus taught, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." A Stoic viewed a storm as a natural event and stayed calm, while another saw it as a disaster and panicked. This reminds us to reframe challenges. Our perspective shapes our experience. Lao Tzu, self-growth, Lao Tzu said, "The Tao is like a seed, small, yet it holds endless potential." A farmer planted a tiny seed that grew into a mighty tree, while another ignored small beginnings and achieved nothing. This teaches us to value small actions. Great things start from humble origins. Plato, Daily Life. Plato taught, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself." A Greek athlete trained his mind before his body, winning races, while another neglected self-discipline and lost. This means mastering yourself first. Self-control leads to outer success. Confucius, work. Confucius taught, "The superior man values virtue over profit." A merchant who prioritized fairness over gain built a lasting business, while another who cheated customers failed. In work, this means putting values first. Integrity leads to sustainable success. Marcus Aurelius, self-growth. Marcus Aurelius said, "Our life is of short duration. Make it a good one." An emperor lived each day with kindness, leaving a legacy, while another wasted his years in selfishness. This reminds us to live with purpose. Make your short time on earth meaningful. Bhagavad Gita, Daily Life. Krishna taught, "The wise are free from the need to compare." A sage lived happily in his own way, while another compared himself to others and felt inferior. This means avoiding comparison. Your journey is unique, and that's enough. Seneca, work. Seneca said, "The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power." A Roman general prepared for battle and won, while another ignored warnings and lost. In work, this means planning ahead. Preparation reduces the impact of challenges. Zhuangzi, self-growth. Zhuangzi taught, "The sage does not seek to be above others." A wise man walked alongside his peers, earning their respect, while another sought dominance and was rejected. This reminds us to practice humility. True leadership comes from equality, not superiority. That's it for today's journey of ancient wisdom. Which lesson spoke to you the most? Comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share this with a friend. And join me tomorrow for another exploration of timeless lessons. See you soon.